Okay. So I'm going to show you this just 1 minute. For those of you who are new. Okay. This is the science syllabus, lower secondary for express and normal academic. So starting from 2021, you can see my screen, right? This is actually the syllabus you will be following. Okay. How do you obtain this? Just go to Google and type in, science syllabus, lower secondary. You can get this from the internet. And what is useful about this document? You can look through the contents. Now, the most important part for you is actually the learning outcomes. Yeah, nice to know, Hannah. It's very interesting. Yeah, but you need to put in a lot of effort. Okay, learning outcomes here will be very important. Are you sure or not? You're not kidding me. Arabic, you're going to learn that. Okay. Wow, I want to talk to you later. Okay, yeah, I'll talk to you later. Now, learning outcomes, page 29. So if you go down to page 29, the rest, if you're interested, you can read, no problem. Okay, but the moment you go to page 29, right? The page 29 is this 29. Here is still 21, 22. Yeah. So 29 is here, learning outcomes. This is important for your learning. Even if, let's say, you don't continue with me for Sec 1, I want you to know that this document will be helpful for you when you revise for your exam. Yes, Hannah, you're right. Everyone's new here. So scientific endeavors. So what is expected of you? You need to know all this. To go and read through first on your own. It's more of, I will say, it's more important from this part here with the bullet points. Show awareness that science is not confined to the laboratory. So that is how they want you to be familiar. It's not just about the science lab. Everything around us is about science. So they also talk about, the different skills that a scientist need to have. Okay, then understand what is the meaning of accuracy, what is the meaning of precision. Okay, and then after that, zero error. Okay, this part here we have not really done, okay, because it's about the readings, etc. We will be doing this next year. Okay, then harmful effects, what is good about science, what are not so good about science, you need to know. Okay, then some of the ethical issue. Okay, maybe in the first part of the year when you are tested. Okay, when you are tested, you have more things from your teacher. Okay, there are more questions from this topic also. Okay, but if you're talking about year end, because no more mid-year exam, right? So year end exam, definitely this will be a very tiny portion. Okay, so we have already covered quite a bit for that. So if you're talking about chapter 2, next year chapter 2, you're going to learn this and you have already learned it in school, in primary school. You're just going to learn more about it. You know about the materials, isn't it? Strength, okay, then talk about flexibility, ability to float, etc. Okay, so read this document on your own. I'm not going to run through everything here, but you will see that many things that are shown here, a lot of them are quite familiar. You have done them already in P6 or P5. Okay, then when you are going to Sec 1, you are learning more details about each topic. Okay, Sec 2, you'll also be learning about forces, heat, etc. Okay, next year you will learn light once more. Can? Right. Of course, there are some other topics that are pretty new. For example, particulate nature of matter. What you learned in school last time was MATTR, matter, right? Solid, liquid, gases. So what are you going to learn in Sec 1? You will see how the arrangement comes into play. Okay, so models representing the different matter, be it solid, liquid, gas, how they influence each other, when temperature changes, etc., etc. Okay, then this is something new, atoms and molecules. You probably have not learned this in primary school. Some teachers actually do show a little bit, okay, cover a little bit for you. Okay, but when you go to Sec 1, this is a topic that is a little bit more difficult than the rest. This is chapter 8. So after that, chapter 9 is actually covered in Sec 2, chapter 9 to 18. All right, 9 to 18. But one thing I need to talk to you about is, and one thing I can advise you is, whatever you learn in Sec 1, okay? Whatever you learn in Sec 1 will be tested in Sec 2 again. So do not throw away your textbook. Do not throw away your notes. Okay, so I tell you first, next time when you go back to school, in case you didn't hear your teacher say it, you must not. You must not throw all these things away. The worksheets, the notes given to you in Sec 1 must be kept. So basically an in-depth coverage of primary school topics, yes. And then when you go on to Sec 3 and 4, you study even more. Okay, so whatever you've learned previously in Sec 3 and 4, when your teacher goes through with you, it will be more content coverage, more in-depth. And if you go to JC, doing A levels, again, you are learning more about each of the science areas. Different areas of science, you're going to learn more and more stuff. That's why you need to make sure foundation is stable. That's true. That is correct. Okay, Hannah. Now, today's lesson, we will actually be touching upon Bunsen burner, lab safety, hazard symbol, and some of the science lab equipment. Okay, maybe hazard symbol not so much, but because you have not, I looked through the name list. I saw that Hannah is the student who is the permanent one. The rest of you are all new. What happened to the rest? The rest are continuing only in January. Okay, so when in January are we starting? 8th of January is our first lesson for 2024. So Hannah, you will see the rest of them in 2024. Okay, many of them are on holiday now. Yeah. Okay. So I will show you all these videos. Bunsen burner. How many of you are familiar with Bunsen burner? Victoria, are you familiar? Aishani, good. Mohit, yes. Okay, good. How about Nicole? Hannah, also familiar. How about Nicole? Nicole, you're very quiet and you didn't turn on the camera. Yeah, I noticed that, Hannah. That's why you were not here. Okay, so if you are familiar with the Bunsen burner, do you know what are the names of the different parts? This will be tested in exam. Yeah. Okay, and then what are the functions for all the parts of the Bunsen burner? All you have to know. How to light up the Bunsen burner, you also got to know. Mohit already learned that, is it? You've learned that already. Wow, okay. So you learned about the different color flames as well. Good. So the colored flames also indicate certain things. Now, so let's look at the videos first because the rest of them don't know. Okay, so Mohit, I have to show them about the Bunsen burner. Okay, but of course, lab safety is also another area we look into. When you go to the science lab in secondary school, not very sure about international school because I have visited international schools before. Okay, the students are very free to move around the science lab all the time. Am I right, Mohit? Yeah, but in Singapore schools, the teachers are very, very strict. They will say that, no, you stay at your bench and you just stay there. You're not supposed to move freely. I was teaching in a Singapore school. You cannot go here, you cannot go there, you cannot touch people's things, you must tie up your hair. I think in international school, they don't even talk about tying up the hair. That's what I know. Yeah. And then they have very short skirt. They put makeup to go to school also. I saw all this because my friend is actually teaching there. So there was once I was invited to go there and have a visit, have a look. So I stayed there the whole day. I observed how lessons were conducted. And amazingly, Hannah, even though they talk freely, they are very respectful of teachers. When the teacher is talking, they will all keep quiet and listen. Yeah. And they don't have to queue up before going back to class. They are free to move around wherever they want. They will come back just before lesson starts. So, wow, international students actually surprised me. Okay. Very little rules, but they did very well. Yeah, correct. Yeah, they can color their hair, they can paint the nails also. Now, so you might be thinking, shall I go to international school? Yeah, it can be fun lah, definitely. And I'm sure Mohit can share a lot. All right, so general lab safety, why is it important to note this? Because we have accidents happening and we don't want you to go through any of this. That's why you have to follow. I was a very strict teacher when I was teaching in secondary school. I do not allow the students to even make noise when walking to the science lab. Totally total silence, I will say. If they were to talk while walking to the science lab, I will cancel the class. Everybody go back and do worksheet. No practical. Yeah. So that was me. I can be very, very strict. Okay, because if I don't start the tone right, they will all become monkeys in the science lab, and that's very dangerous. Okay, so I will start with the Bunsen burner first. Then later I'll let you watch a video on lab safety. Okay. Let me just share the screen with you. Okay, I didn't see that, I am muted. Hannah, you know me, I've been talking and talking nonstop, right? Okay, sorry. So I am jumping the slides for today's tutorial. Okay, because I showed you the Bunsen burner first, right? I want to go through the questions related to Bunsen burner. Thank you, Hannah. Okay, next time you must always remember, okay, to text me if I forget to unmute myself. Okay, so flame is over here. You saw just now. And flame, you have two types. One is actually the yellow flame. One is the blue flame. Okay, the blue flame is extremely hot. Something you must know. Okay, it serves to heat substances. Okay, the yellow flame is a safety flame, right? So it allows us to see that there's a flame over here at the Bunsen burner. Okay, because it's very bright yellow. It is also less hot. All right, so it's called the safety flame. So whenever you are going to leave your Bunsen burner unattended, should you need to turn around or turn to one side to get something, always make sure the flame is yellow in color so that somebody else in front of you, okay, or beside you will not get burned. Now, also, you have to take note there's a collar with the air hole. Now, this air hole allows air to enter. So you saw that when he actually lit up the Bunsen burner originally, there was a yellow flame. Okay, and the air hole was actually at a certain position. Okay, sorry, the collar is at a certain position. So can you share with me now in the chat, was the air hole actually open or closed to get the yellow flame? So right in the beginning, was the air hole open or closed in order to get the yellow flame? Because all these will be tested in your exam also. Aishani, you're sharp. Yes. Okay, correct. So when the air hole is actually closed, okay, the flame will be yellow, right? So then you also can see that there's a base here, right? The base is extremely heavy. Right now, I can't show you one Bunsen burner and let you try holding it. Okay, but the base is very heavy. This is to ensure stability. Okay, so take note. Then the gas actually comes in from the gas hose. This is connected to the main tap. Right. So observe the following diagram carefully. You can see question of the Bunsen burner here. Okay, label the various parts of the Bunsen burner with the correct words given. So what do you think is A? Type into the chat. For those of you who have not done the tutorial, I think, let me just take a look. But you can still type it in, okay? Okay? Yeah. So A, yes, that's right. Very good. Yep. Correct. Very good. So thank you for responding. Yeah, so you're responsive, all of you. Good. Next. So we have part B here. Okay, part A, part B. You see the alignment is a little bit off. Okay, but part B is pointing to this part. Okay, part B is pointing to this part. Then you have part C, all right, and part E. So what is B? Thank you, Victoria. Right? Yes. Okay. Mohit, do you know what is... Oh, okay. Mohit, this is actually pointing to the collar.